Chapter 6: How Sex Drives Evolution. There are few animals in nature more resplendent than a male peacock in full display, yet the bird seems to violate every aspect of Darwinism, for the traits that make him beautiful are at the same time maladaptive for survival. The long tail causes struggle to become airborne, the sparkling colors attract predators, and a lot of metabolic energy is diverted to the male's striking tail. In addition to gaudy traits, there are strange behaviors seen only in one sex. Traits that differ between males and females of a species, such as tails, color, and song, are called sexual dimorphisms, from the Greek for two forms. If traits differ between males and females of a species, the elaborate behaviors, structures, and ornaments are nearly always restricted to males. The currency of selection is not really survival, but successful reproduction. Selection that increases an individual's chance of getting a mate is called sexual selection. Sexual selection comes in two forms. The first is direct competition between males for access to females. When males of a species battle it out directly, be it through the clashing of antlers of deer, the stabbing of horns of the stag beetle, or the bloody battles of massive elephant seals, they win access to females by driving off competitors. Selection will favor any trait that promotes such victories, so long as the increased chance of getting mates more than offsets any reduced survival. The second type of sexual selection is female choosiness among possible mates. This molds features such as bright colors, ornaments, bowers, and mating displays in which females find certain traits more attractive over others. This is an indirect competition in which winning males have the loudest voices, brightest colors, and so on. Here, the winner is decided by the females. Males can even continue to compete after mating. This is known as post-mating competition. Sometimes a male hangs around after mating, guarding his female against other suitors. When you see dragonflies attached to each other, it is likely the male guarding the female after fertilizing her. Chemicals can also do this job. The ejaculate of some snakes and rodents temporarily plugs up a female's reproductive tract after mating. Some species even have offensive weapons to get rid of sperm from previously mating males and replacing it with their own. Much of Darwin's observations about peacock behavior and mate choice left him in angst. Many studies were done to suggest correlation between elaborate tail and female choice, yet none proved it. One study took the experiment a step further. Marion Petrie and Tim Holliday cut 20 eye spots off the tail of every male in a group of peacocks and compared their mating success to that of a control group. In the next breeding season, each male averaged 2.5 fewer matings than the control males. Malt Anderson then presented an experiment which had a group with artificially 30-inch long tails, abnormally short 6-inch tails, and a control group. Males with artificially long tails gained nearly twice as many females as the normal males. After these studies, and observing countless other species in nature such as frogs, guppies, spiders, etc., there is simply no doubt that female choice has driven evolution of many sexual dimorphisms. Darwin was right after all.
One question that continues to baffle scientists is why sexual reproduction is so prevalent despite its drawbacks. In a species that reproduces sexually, individuals sacrifice 50% of their genes through mating, while asexual species sacrifice none. Parthenogenesis is a form of asexual reproduction where females produce eggs that can develop without fertilization by a male. In practice, this leads to a population of self-reproducing females and phases out the necessity of males. In natural selection, if the genes exist for parthenogenesis, it is strongly selected for over sexual reproduction. Although asexual reproduction has its advantages, it still hasn't phased out sex. Many theories have been suggested to explain why. Sex promotes random shuffling of genes that fosters evolution, for example. When the success of sexual reproduction is considered, more questions are raised, such as why are there two sexes rather than more, and why is there such a marked discrepancy in the size and numbers of gametes between the sexes? These are complex theoretical questions, but scientists know that having two sexes is a more stable reproductive strategy, as well as smaller, more manifold male gametes and larger, fewer female gametes. This information also sets the stage for sexual selection and different mating strategies among the sexes. Because of the size of the female gamete, the incubation period, and in some cases parental care, sexual reproduction comes at a far greater cost for females than it does for males. This leads to females being generally choosier. For males, many promiscuous matings will lead to a greater yield of offspring, but females may produce the same number of offspring through far fewer matings. Therefore, it's much more beneficial for a female to select the best possible father for her offspring when the opportunity to mate is available. This leads to competition between males for the right to mate. Stronger and more vigorous males will secure many females, while weaker males may never reproduce. However, by the same strategy, almost every female is guaranteed a mating, even if only a few males are chosen out of many. This is one of the reasons why males in the animal kingdom are often more brightly decorated than females. Female sexual selection favors more noticeable males, who in turn must compete with other males for the right to fertilize a limited number of eggs. This is not always the case, however, since monogamous species who stay together post-mating to raise their offspring exist in the wild, although at an extremely reduced frequency. One puzzling detail is that even species that appear monogamous have brightly colored or ornamented males. This is described by social monogamy, where the couple raises young and defends their roost together while willfully mating with others during the reproductive seasons. Species with less variety in appearance between sexes are typically more monogamous because brighter colors in one sex suggest stronger sexual competition. Species in which the sexes look similar are less adulterous. Sexual dimorphism is not restricted to coy females and showy males, as sometimes the roles are reversed. This is seen in seahorses, where the males carry the fertilized eggs until maturity. During this period, females must attract new males to fertilize and carry their eggs, so they are more bright and showy than the males are.
Why choose? As we know, in normal mating, female is choosy one. Alfred Russel Wallace states because of male physiology, they have bright colors and ornaments, but on the other hand, female were less colorful because they want to be safer by predators. But here, there is a problem. Why male should not camouflage as well as female? Darwin comes with a better theory. He believes male colors and ornaments evolve depends on female choice, and he stated that female choosing by pure aesthetic. He couldn't find any reason for this. The Descent of Man and Selection in Relation to Sex is a Darwin book which explains more on sexual selection. Here, he's agreed with this process, but he has no reasons for why female is choosy and how she chooses. In fact, female prefer certain type of male to spread their genes. Darwin supposed these preferences are not matter of random, but probably evolved by selection. There are two ways that females can get benefits by selecting mate, directly and indirectly. Directly, male that choose help female to produce better and healthier youngs and helps to care of a child. As indirectly, male has better genes, so it gives better genes to next generation. In general, the genes that help female to choose her mate to get better benefits called preference gene, and this gene increase in frequency of population. Therefore, males try to evolve to be more stronger to secure more females. On the other view, indirect benefits spread too. For example, imagine there is a disease in a species. Now, female tries to mate with male that has disease resistance gene, so the gene gets spread by natural selection. Now, both disease resistance and female preference genes increased in that species. Now we know females like to find males with larger direct or indirect benefits. Geoff Hill of University of Michigan used the house finch of North America to see if they are sexually dimorphic for color. He makes brighter or paler males by the hair dryer. The result was as expected. Brighter males attract more females than pale males. Now, a question comes: why females prefer brighter males? For answer this question, he found that brighter males feed their children more than lighter ones. So in this example, female gets more direct benefits when mating with brighter males. But why brighter males feed more food? Generally, the red color of male finches comes from carotenoid pigments in the seed they eat. Therefore, brighter males have better health because they fed well. So selection increases this preference, and males tries to have red color, but in one point this preference exaggerated by sexual selection. On the other hand, females stay dry because they don't get more males for brighter color. There is no benefit for them. They are safe by predators with not brighter color. Also, females should be avoided by choosing right males. The male's color, plumage, and behavior can show if they have diseases. Infested male can transfer diseases to female, their child, or both. For example, if male sage-grouse has artificial blood spots pointed on their vocal sacs, get fewer mating. The spots can help female to know that male is probably not good choice for mating. Here, selection will increase female preference and male genes that indicate his condition. Again, like last example, male's vocal sac will get bigger and female's preference will plan. Vocal sacs will increase. And this stops when male trait becomes so exaggerated, as it happens for widow bird's long tail. Generally, good phenotypes come from good genotype. So if male has a good looking, perhaps it has a good genotype. Now, mostly three types of genes increase in frequency. Genes of male indicator, females can see male has good genes, or they get better indirectly benefits. Next is gene of female or periphery gene, and lastly good genes whose presence is reflected by the indicator. For good gene model, Alison Welch used grey tree frogs at University of Missouri. They wanted to test that long-calling male frogs have better genes than short-calling male frogs because females are attracted to long-calling ones. So they used female eggs in vitro, each egg divided by two, and one half fused with sperm of long-calling and the other half fused with short-calling sperm. Test shows long-calling grow faster and survive better. This means they have good genes. In this test, female just benefits indirectly from males. They just use their genes. Also, Marion Petria works on peacocks at Ipsen Park. Find generally males with eye spot in their tails attract more females. So she shows males with eye spot produce healthier young. Also, youngs survive better. This test shows female choose better genes or better indirectly benefits. Sensory bias model or third explanation of sexual dimorphisms. Generally, it talks about how pre-existing biases in females' nerve system find mate, like finding food. In sensory bias model, female doesn't get any direct or indirect benefits from males. To continue, somehow females may like novel features. It may be because it stimulates their nerve system. Nancy Bly and Richard Simanek test on Australian grass finches to see if females attracted to novel features. They put artificial crease on some males. Result was Female attracted to white artificial creased males. It is unknown why white crease attracted more, not other colors. But is May they build their nests with white features, and females think white crease males are safer for their child. Similar tests done to frogs and fish, and the result was same. Females attracted to fractions that they never seen before. Sensory biases model is important because sometimes natural selection may create some preferences to help animals survive or reproduce.